I don't know why I still get so nervous to do voiceovers. Um, anyways, this meme is here just so it gives me like, 30 seconds or whatever to just gather my thoughts and begin the actual voiceover because I haven't seen this video of, this art. I made this video probably almost a year ago at this point. And so like me watching it back now to do the voiceover is like the first time I've seen it in a while. Um, Here we go. All right. So I remember I did a piece prior to this one that I really liked. The focus is so in and out on this, but I really liked it and I wanted to try it again, but in blue. I had done it, but like how I'm doing like the skeleton here in blue. I had done the same thing, but in red, and I wanted to do it in blue. Um, there's not really anything specific that I was like doing. I was just trying my best to like replicate how I had worked on that previous art piece. That previous art piece, I have a picture of it, but I don't actually have it anymore because I had given it to a friend as a gift, but now me and her don't talk anymore. But that's fine. That's fine. You see that ant that was crawling? Man, I have such problem with like sugar ants. Even right now, that was like a year ago, and even currently, I still have. During the summer, I just have problems with like sugar ants, little tiny ants. These are just some acrylic markers that I got for like really cheap on Amazon. They're okay. They're okay. I still have the same markers. I haven't used them up yet. Like, I don't know what brand they are. What brand are these? They're right next to me right now. Pegather? Pegather? It's got a unicorn on it. I just got them because they were cheap. I wanted some cheap acrylic markers because I didn't want to invest in acrylic markers if I didn't like using them. And so I thought, good trial run. I don't seem like I don't know. I haven't watched any of my other videos back lately because I noticed a lot of issues with like the focus going in and out. I think it's better now. And any of the other times, I think the method that I use to film is better. But this morning, I just woke up really early and I couldn't sleep. And I wanted to do the voiceover then. I really felt like doing it then. But uh, my boyfriend Bun was still asleep, and I didn't want to just be sitting here. I live in a camper, and so it's like, uh, pretty much a glorified one bedroom like apartment type of experience. And so like it's fine. I really like living in the camper, but it just makes it where I'm trying to be uh considerate of him still sleeping. Now I really like how doll-like she turned out. I really was wanting it to be very like elf doll type of vibes. Like I don't really draw anything like this. Whenever I drew this, I haven't drawn anything similar to this since. It really was just something to like do something different. I just really wanted to do something different. But lately I've just been wanting to try to focus more on my art. I've been trying to focus more on making art. I've made a lot of art, but I'm not good at posting my art, okay? And so like I've gotten in a better habit of making art, but I've not in a good process of posting art. Obviously, I mean if this video is a year old, like that tells you everything you need to know. But so that's something I want to try and work on. I'm going to try to at least post. I'm going to start out every other week. Try to post a video every other week. And if I can stick to that, then I can, make it with like a higher frequency. Because if I want to get commissions, or just get people interested in my art or just interested in me, period, it's like I have to give them something to be interested in. And it's always been really hard for me growing up, just like, I'm 29 now. It's always been really hard for me to be okay with being seen. I really like how I did this, how I used like the acrylic marker and I like pressed my finger against it to make it almost more like a little splatter type of thing. I tried to make the pupil of the eye and the center of the heart kind of look like the moon. I don't know if I achieved that or not. Um, Anyways, I've always struggled with being seen, being perceived, being open. And I feel like I'm finally at a time in my life where I'm tired of like holding back parts of myself for whatever reason, whether that's, like I'm not good enough or like it's embarrassing for people to see, me. It's like people, the perception that people have had of me for a long time might get broken because, they perceive me to be something different than what I actually am, which a lot of this also stems from like me having unhealed people pleasing tendencies, that have gotten a lot better within the past year. I've also done a lot of healing, with my mental health. It's like I've gotten to a better point. So, I mean, obviously I still struggle with my mental health from time to time. I mean, who doesn't, honestly? But I've kind of moved away from perceiving it as like more of a trap and then more like something to use to learn from, because if it's going to happen, you know, sometimes whether I want it to or not, I'm going to struggle. Life is just made of struggle at times, And instead of seeing that struggle as something to fight against, something to like hate, something to like be worried or scared about, I feel like it's much healthier, at least for me, to view that struggle as part of a larger lesson. I feel like that's really helped me a lot for changing my mindset about like how I view struggle and like in whatever context, whether that's struggle in terms of, like my actual life, struggle with like work, job, like relationships, like balance, whatever. And then like, struggle with my own mentalities about things. I mean, it's just part of it, It's like struggle with my art, struggle with like myself. It's like and that's okay, because every time I overcome that struggle, I learn a little bit more. And so now I've gotten a better vibe about it, I embrace the struggle. I welcome it, and by welcoming it, I seem to have less of it. The only way out is through in certain cases, and I definitely found that to be so for mine. And I didn't realize, but this right here is the end of the video that I had, so I apparently did not film me doing the, like, background, which is oil pastels. I really do like the transparency of her little veil thing, but the curtains, trash. Um, Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you like it, you know what to do, and I'm going to try and post more.